Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. When Brady Black, Eric Martsolf arrived, Kristen DiMera, Stacey Hayduk ended a phone conversation with Dr. Wilhelm Rolf, Richard Wharton, according to the spoilers for Monday, November 4th episode of Days of Our Lives, DOL. Kristen didn't tell Brady about it, even though she secretly still desired Titan before giving Brady the second serum dose. After Rachel Black, Finley Rose Slater, presented Brady with a bag of Halloween treats, she persuaded him to stay for the lunch she had prepared for Kristen. In addition, Rachel wished Kristen might accompany her so she could ride in Brady's new vehicle. Brady reminded her of all the arguments and didn't want them to happen again, even though Rachel clearly wanted the family to be reunited. Following Brady's departure, Kristen offered Rachel hope by speculating that, as her daughter had desired, they may one day be a family once more. With puppy dog eyes, Rachel gazed up and begged Kristen to make it happen. In Monday's Days episode, Tate Black, Leo Howard, told Holly Jonas, Ashley Puzimis, that he was with Sophia Choi, Madeline Keynes, last night at the townhouse, but he didn't reveal the details of their liaison. Holly dominated the talk by admitting her mistakes and pleading with Tate to accept her return. Despite Tate's repeated attempts to talk about what transpired with Sophia, Holly merely hoped he would consider forgiving her and starting again as a couple. Later, when Brady got home, Tate acknowledged that Holly had arrived and begged him to return. Brady sensed that something was up, so Tate acknowledged that something had occurred that Holly was unaware of. Sophia updated Ava Vitali, Tamara Braun, about her time in the bedroom with Tate at Monday's DOL show in the town square. In an attempt to save Sophia's heartache, Ava asked a lot of questions, some of which were concerning Holly. Sophia contended that Tate hyped the fact that they had slept together when he hadn't slept with his ex and reassured her that things were finished with Holly. Sophia was shocked when she saw Holly in person after Ava took fled. When Sophia finally comprehended Holly's return, she stated that Holly ought to be aware of anything. Then, in the hotel suite of Philip Kyriakis, Jean-Paul Lavoisier, Kate Roberts Brady, Lauren Koslow, and Vivian Alamain, Louise Sorrell, quarreled in the Monday's Days episode. Kate threatened to contact the police, but Vivian offered to tell Kate about her scheme with Philip and give her a share of the Titan fortune instead. Vivian brought up Victor Kyriakis, John Aniston, letter and his desire for Philip to manage Titan after she persuaded Kate to utilize the funds for body and soul. After Vivian persuaded Kate to return to the sinister side, Kate shook on an agreement even though she knew that Vivian had forged it. At the Kyriakis' home, Philip took the gun from the safe after hearing Xander Kyriakis, Paul Telfer, discuss his desire to eradicate him. After Xander was prodded by Philip and given it, he aimed and shot, only to discover it was unloaded. He took the risk because, as Philip acknowledged, he knew that Maggie Kyriakis, Suzanne Rogers, disliked loaded guns in the home. He told Kate that Philip was back in town and staying at the Salem Inn, Xander said as they argued once again. When Philip heard that, he hurried away. When Philip and Vivian met again, she admitted that Kate had already visited and was aware of the fake letter. But Kate didn't realize Philip had been aware of the fabrication from the beginning. He told Victor's portrait that if Kate didn't show up, he could still have to take Philip out when he was back with Xander in the Monday Days episode. Kate considered calling Jada Hunter, Elia Cantu, regarding Vivian after pulling up her phone number on her phone. We'll give you more predictions about all the chaos because, according to Days of Our Lives spoilers, Vivian will in fact face some Jada-related difficulties in the future. You can get the best Days of Our Lives spoilers, predictions, news, and updates on CDL, so return often for more DOL information. Philip chooses to amuse himself by pressing all of Xander's buttons, not just one or two. We wonder how things will turn out when Viv offers her longtime opponent a cut of the Kyriakis' fortune, given that Vivian and Kate fought for Victor for years. After spending some time with Kristen and Rachel as a family, is Brady going to make the same mistakes he has in the past? When Sophia wants to confide in someone about Tate, she turns to Ava. Tate learns that Holly wants to try their relationship again in the interim. Spoilers for Tuesday, November 5th, on Days of Our Lives. The interaction Vivian is about to have with Jada is probably not going to be enjoyable. To what extent will Kate go to ensure that Philip stays far, far away from Vivian? Rafe and Javi try to reconcile since a particular family relic is at risk. Sophia really wants to tell Holly about some news she has. Tate, meantime, turns to Brady to discuss his problems with women. Given that Brady is among the most unlucky men to have ever lived in Salem, Tate may want to talk to someone else. Spoilers for Wednesday, November 6th, on Days of Our Lives. EJ tries his best to console Gabby, who is completely devastated by the Stefan scenario. Here's what Brandon Barish had to say about his true reasons for leaving the program in the meantime. What an incredible amount of nerve! In fact, Clyde begs Chad for a favor. Rafe jumps at the chance to help Jada when she needs it. Spoilers for Thursday, November 7th's episode of Days of Our Lives. Johnny will need to suppress his remorse deeply if he wants to avoid ruining his chance to spend time with Chanel. We have a feeling that when Rafe and Jada reveal the news, their loved ones will be overjoyed. Are Alex and Stephanie lovers, friends, or something else entirely? When they eventually get together to talk about their position, we'll have a better notion. Gabby informs Javi that Leo is bad news and should be avoided at all costs, having learned this lesson the hard way. Spoilers for Friday, November 8th's episode of Days of Our Lives. In order to assist in celebrating Marlena and John's wedding anniversary, Belle and Paul travel back to Salem. Maggie is in a bad mood. Is Sarah able to cheer her up? It must be time for Brady to criticize Kristen for her foul play once more if the day of the week ends, and why. When Tate and Holly run into each other, things get really awkward. Julie looks after her dear Doug. Check out our new photo gallery to get a preview of what November Sweeps has in store. People who are eager to see what the new authors have in store for their episodes when they begin airing towards the end of spring next year will be especially excited to hear that the soap opera has been renewed. As Theo Panglis has eagerly hinted at, this means they should have time to work on larger stories and steer the program in new or classic ways. Since switching to the streaming service in 2022, the show has continuously ranked among Peacock's top 10 titles, so it shouldn't come as a huge surprise. Finding out that our favorite soap operas are still in production is always a comfort, but it's still thrilling news. Day of Days will premiere on Saturday, November 2nd, and as the show is about to enter its historic 60th season, we're confident there will be many more surprises and fascinating news nuggets to come. In addition, we know that we have a lot of sad goodbyes to say, such as Doug's passing, paying tribute to the late great Bill Hayes for the soap opera's 15,000th episode, and letting go of John following Drake Hodgson's passing. In Monday's Days episode, Tate Black, Leo Howard, told Holly Jonas, Ashley Puzimis, that he was with Sophia Choi, Madeline Keynes, last night at the townhouse, but he didn't reveal the details of their liaison. Holly dominated the talk by admitting her mistakes and pleading with Tate to accept her return. Despite Tate's repeated attempts to talk about what transpired with Sophia, Holly merely hoped he would consider forgiving her and starting again as a couple.